Hey, good morning. Sorry I'm looking kind of rough. But I'm getting ready to make my sausage and cheese muffins, like mini muffins. It's a recipe my mom has done forever, and I just kind of tweak it for my own. And so I was going to show you how I do that today. So hang out with me. And good morning. Okay, so we're starting off with some sausage, just browning away. I use Bass Farm sausage, mild. You can use anything you want, hot, spicy. You can use Jimmy Dean, you can use Tennessee Pride, you can use whatever you want. But I got it going cooking about medium high heat, and I kind of, as it was cooking, I'm trying to chop it small as I can. So I'm going to do that a little bit more, and I like to, because it's sausage. Sausage can take longer cooking time. See how these like browner bits here? Now, that's just flavor, y'all. Like, just don't be afraid to cook it till you get some color. That's just, that's flavor in there. So anyway, I'm going to let this finish cooking, and I'm going to get it drained and put over there in that little plate with some napkins, and I'll be right back. Alright, y'all, so I'm back. We've got the sausage over here draining. I've got all my ingredients kind of gathered together. I got me 3/4 cup of water. I've got a can of cheddar cheese soup. I only need 1.5 cups of cheese, but I just use whatever I have, and I have fancy shredded Colby Jack. So, we got that. And then we need some Bisquick, but I am actually not going to use Bisquick because it's expired, so I just can't use it. So what I have instead is the Kodak cakes. They are protein packed, and it is a flapjack and waffle mix, but that's what we're going to use because we don't really need it to rise a whole lot. But I'm going to just try it this way. I got me a bowl to mix the stuff up. This is not a recipe that I've stole from anybody. This is a family recipe that my mom kind of concocted. So, switching stuff up, it's totally fine. While we're waiting, I'm going to preheat my oven to 375. Okay, let me check and make sure there ain't nobody. Oh, there is somebody in there. Alright, I'm right back, y'all. Hey, y'all, so I'm not sure if I mentioned that you needed to use, the recipe that my mom makes is you need 3 cups of Bisquick. I am going to do 1.5 cups because that's just kind of how I like it, of the Bisquick, but I'm going to, substitute it with the Kodak cakes. And I don't know if anybody watches cooking shows or anything, but all I know is that you do the dry ingredients first, and then you add the wet ingredients. And that is how I've always done it, because that is what Rachel Ray told me to do back when I started watching cooking shows. So anyway, there's that, and I'll be back shortly. A side tip that I need to mention is, I did mention a while ago about the flour, or the Bisquick, that the recipe calls for 3 cups of flour. I did not mention, but I need to now, that it also calls for 1.5 cups of shredded cheese. But the way that the recipe reads to me is whatever of the Bisquick or the flour that you use, take that measurement and divide it in half, and that's how much cheese you use. Like it's a 2-to-1 ratio, if that makes sense. So like I said, I did 1.5 cups of the Kodak, and so I did 3/4 cup of cheese. So that's what's in here. And I also added some salt and pepper, just because I like my stuff to be seasoned. Anyway, so I'll be back in just a few minutes, and I'm getting ready to add the sausage, which is another dry ingredient. Get that mixed in, and then I'm going to add the soup. And I just poured the water in that little container because I used my measuring cup to get the flour, or the Bisquick, the Kodak cakes. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, hey love and lovies. So this is what the batter kind of looks like when it's mixed up. It kind of reminds me of like a wet cake batter. That's kind of what I was going for, and I'm using this handy dandy little tool, this ice cream scooper, for it, and I'm scooping it about 3/4 of the way full because it's kind of deep. And I'm coming over here, shake it off, I need to add a little bit more to that, but this is kind of the height I'm looking for. You see, it's just barely coming over the top, just a little bit. So I'm going to get a little bit more. That's a little much. So that one's going in there. Let me get a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a good amount. Put you right there. Yeah. And so we're just going to keep doing this and fill her up. And I'll be back in a little bit to let you know what it looks like before it goes in the oven. Okay, so this is what they look like filled up before going into the oven. Now, normally if I was going to use Bisquick, which is self-rising, or if I was going to use self-rising flour, I would make these a little bit shorter. But because I use the pancake waffle mix, it's not going to rise but so much. So anyway, these are getting ready to go in the oven at 375 degrees. And I will check y'all back in about 20 minutes when they're done. Alright, thanks. So for the sake of being transparent, sorry, I moved my hand. I want to go ahead and get these muffins finished. I had extra batter, so I used a regular muffin tin, but I did not fill them up very high at all. They are literally just covering the bottom of the regular size muffin tin. So I'm going to pop these in there with the little ones, and hope they get done about the same time. And I'll be back to let you know what they look like. Bye. Well, not bye. I'll see you in a little bit. Hi. Welcome back. So, we just pulled them out of the oven, and I just literally just topped that one with cheese. I'm going to top this one with cheese, but I wanted to show you this is what they look like coming out. See, they didn't really rise much at all. And they're nice and golden brown. And they have been cooking for 16 minutes. Now, when you look at a recipe and see that it says cook for 20 to 25 minutes, just remember that each person's oven is going to be a little different depending on age, make, model, all that. So mine was 16 minutes, and I noticed that they were brown, so I took them out. Now we're chopping with cheese. Oh, look, it's melting. It's melting. Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm going to top these right here with some more cheese and stick it back in the oven for about 4 or 5 more minutes, and then we'll be done. Look at the beautifulness that is the sausage, egg, and cheese mini muffins and flat muffins. They were supposed to be mini muffins too, but I didn't have another pan, and so that's just where they went. But anyway, thanks guys for hanging out with me, and if you hold on, let me turn this around. Hey guys, so that's it for my sausage and cheese mini muffins and kind of regular muffins because I didn't have a second pan. But thanks for hanging out with me, and if you like little stuff like this, please hit the subscribe button, share, let people know, help a girl out. If you want to see a certain recipe because you just don't have the time or the heart to master it, let me know. Let me master it and I'll show you a step by step. Thanks for hanging out, and I'm going to go hang out with my baby and watch Moana. Bye.